Hi, my name is Jen. Welcome to my channel, All My Plants. Today I am just going to do some updates. I think there's a lot of stuff that's been happening, things that have been potted, propagated, whatever. So we're just going to kind of bop around and check that out because I have the plague again. How that's possible, I don't know, but I do. And I'm just now, today's the first day in 6 days that I'm well enough to actually get out of bed. Mostly I'm just really lightheaded. I don't know, I think I'm gonna have to go back to the doctor. But anyway, updates. That's where I'm going with this. We're gonna look at some updates. Because believe it or not, I actually have got some plant chores done between the last video, which was, I think, the Hoya tour, which I recorded probably 2 weeks ago. But anyway, I don't know, it's been a while. Feels like forever. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna show you some stuff. So this looks like hell, right? This is, well, you can't see the part that looks like hell. There we go. This is the philodendron patriciae that I imported maybe a month ago. I can't remember. It sat in water when I first got it. I just plunked it right in water. I think I left that day or the next day and went somewhere. I can't remember where. But, you know, I was gone for a while and they were fine. I came back, I looked at them, and the roots were still, they were nice and firm. They had a dark-ish color, but some philodendron roots do. They didn't look suspicious. So I left it. And then, I don't know, I guess like another week after that, you know, I've been changing the water every day or every other day, somewhere in there, and making sure that it was touching, you know, the nodes that I wanted to root. I noticed it was yellowing, so I pulled it out of there and I really got in and checked out those roots, and they were toast. They were not like rotting, but they were rotted. They were very stringy. When you pulled the outer covering of the root would slough off, and then the inner part was just stringy. So I cut a lot of that off. There wasn't much viable, if anything viable. Yeah, like we've had some problems with this plant. But I didn't try to reroot it in any other form or fashion. I have stuffed it in. It's in bonsai mix, which probably sounds insane, but I find it's kind of airy, it's drier, but it'll hold some moisture, particularly with a reservoir. So that's what I've done, and there's definitely nothing growing, but I'm hoping that below the surface here we're growing some new roots that will be viable and help keep this plant alive, because I would really like it to. There is, I guess, if that's not going to be a good thing, there are some nodes that I could maybe propagate from, but the existing roots, aerial roots or adventitious roots, are toast. So, you know, they don't regrow. So what I would have to rely on would be this plant to push out some new growth, and then that new growth to grow roots, and hopefully while the stump or the, you know, the stem area would sustain that until it happened. I don't know. So right now, basically, I'm just letting it ride. We're going to see how it goes. I haven't had any more yellowing or crisping or anything since. This was the newest leaf. And there is one kind of behind it, but I don't have much hope for it. I don't know if you can see that. Because I can't see that. Oh yeah, there. There we go. Maybe hide my face. Just don't focus on me. It doesn't look great, but you know, we'll see how it goes. So this one I believe was the patriciae, and I also got an emerald dense at the same time, emerald dense narrow. I'm going to get ready to show you that. Okay, so this guy here, it's kind of potted sideways, or maybe it's turned itself that way, I'm not sure. This one here, same thing. On the newer leaves, those were the ones yellowing first, which this was, I think, the newest leaf when I got this. And then it had a growth point there, and that was just toast. That had, was literally rotted, so I broke that off. But these are some of the older leaves, and despite, you know, looking a little tatty, they look okay. So hopefully they'll hang in there. Same thing on this one, no viable root in bonsai mix with a reservoir. And I've just put plain water in it because I do put fertilizer in my bonsai mix. So, I don't know. You know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. You know, wish me luck. Do I look like toast? I feel like toast. Dry, burnt toast. These guys here, this is the Hoya serpens and the Hoya lacanosa variegated. I just showed these in my Hoya collection video, part 2, at the very end if you were interested. And I said there's nothing going on. There is no growth. There's just nothing happening. I did have them in a humidity cabinet. They're in teeny little things, so they dried very quickly. And I didn't notice any roots, and I certainly didn't notice any new growth. I put them in here about 5 days ago, something like that. And this one here has a whole ass new leaf. And then this one here, I can see it spitting out like a new tendril, a new little arm. I'll show you. Actually, let me just say I'll show you to the best of my ability. This is the serpens. It has this tiny little light green new growth right in the middle there at the node, which you can kind of see. So yay for that. And then this one here is the variegated lacanosa, which, sorry, I'm just checking it out. It looks like only one of them has new growth, and it is this little leaf right here, which isn't variegated, of course. I mean, that's fine. I'm just so happy to see it actually grow. So yeah, the humidity bubble, I guess, is helping keep it moist a little bit longer, like it's still quite wet. Or a cloche, whatever you call that. So yeah, I'm just gonna put them back in there and just wait longer. And then this guy here is Monstera Aria baby, which I don't know if, or Aria, the yellow one. This is the newest leaf on it currently. It has very nice variegation. I've crisped this one a bit. And it's not that I burnt it or anything, I just forget to water it, and it's in kind of a small pot. But I think this is a lovely plant. Very pretty. Very pretty. And basically the update is still growing, still has great variegation, very nice, very nicely balanced on this one. Like, I don't know. It looks like it's in a kind of a big pot, but it's not. It's just hanging out in a cover pot with a chopstick attempting to hold it upright, which it looks like it's holding itself up fairly well now without it. But, so yeah, I don't really show the Arias often, but I have them, I love them. And they're probably my favorite of the large form monsteras is the Arias or Memoratas, whatever they're called. But yeah, there's another one right there. Actually, it's 2 in that pot. But anyway, and then I had some Monstera albos, which I propagated quite a while ago on this channel. I just chopped it all up. I think I chopped the whole thing down in single node cuttings, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think there's like 5 of them around. One is still a zombie leaf. That's that one. It's slowly being neglected to death. Maybe this was the original stump. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I can't remember. But it's still hanging in there. I let it get really dry. It's in moss. Whoops. And this seems to be the pattern with all of them. It's putting out a variegated leaf, a green leaf, a variegated leaf, a green leaf. But this one here in particular is putting out huge chunks of white. This whole leaf was white except for just the tiniest bit down that the main vein, the midrib there. This one here was white except for what you see left. And then a full green leaf. And that seems to be how this one does. which is frustrating. But I don't know. I mean, it's pretty before it gets crispy. But yeah, this leaf is slowly going. We have a new one here to rely on. And I still see variegation in the stem, but it just only pops out every other leaf for some reason. I don't know. This one here seems generally more cooperative, although it does the same thing, a variegated leaf, a non-variegated leaf, a variegated leaf, a non-variegated leaf. This is the one it came from. And then, you know, this was the first little doodad it put out. But when it does put out variegation, I do kind of like the variegation it puts out. I mean, it's pretty. It just won't behave and do it consistently. Like here's two all green ones right here. So, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to cut it again. It is what it is. I'm not going to show you all of them. There's two more somewhere in the same pot together. And they are so-so with the variegation. I'd say it's a light smattering at best. I don't even know where I've put that. I've lost that plant. Maybe it's in the bathroom being watered. I don't know. This is another plant that I rotted the roots off of. Well, I didn't, but I didn't help. And since it's been in rehab, it has grown two horrible looking leaves. That one, and then this creature. But hopefully we can do better with this one. Once again, it is in bonsai mix with a reservoir to help with moisture and humidity around it. Like, that was a pretty leaf. I don't know. So I've got a bunch of plants in this current situation. Some are propagating and some are root rot, or they just weren't doing well. My Rockweonum is in one of these right now. I have some hybrid a lady gave me in this. I have some new Majestics that I got not that long ago, new, a couple months maybe, in it, and they're actually doing really good. Oddly enough, the original roots that were on it look dead, but they've all put out new leaves. I'll show you. Like, here's one. I don't know if this had any leaves at all, but I know that this little leaf here is new. That's cute, right? Can we see any? Yeah, like the roots that it did have, like they're black. I don't know if you can see them, but they don't look viable to me. But it's growing, so I don't know. Yeah, they don't look good. They look dead. But I'm just gonna let it ride. The roots that I can see coming off the stump, I don't know if you can see them at all. They don't look great, but they are firm. Oh no. And then here's the other one. I think it had this leaf and maybe one other. Maybe this little bitty guy here. Do the roots on this one look any better? Some better. I don't know if you'll be able to see them there through the thing. Some of them look like green and growing, and then some look kind of black and gross. But I don't know, spider webs and all. But that's a new leaf, so yay for that. And then I just showed my Nicholsonia New Guinea Ghost, and that's what this guy is a cutting of, which it rooted quite quickly. I just did this, I don't know, a few days ago, and just stuck it into bonsai mix with a reservoir, so it stays quite damp. But there's already new growth and roots. Like, I don't know, not this, but kind of like behind it, down there, there's a little tiny green point. But yeah, yay. And then this little dude here is the Monstera adansonii variegated, which I got around the same time. No, at the same time as those Majestics. It was 2 leaves, so it's put out 2 and working on a 3rd. I love it. I'm very happy with it. I did have it in the cabinet for the first couple days after I got it here, and it's just been sitting in normal room humidity ever since, because like I said, in the winter the cabinet just, it toasts things really, really dry really fast. I don't know why. But I find myself watering it way more than usual, so there's not a whole lot in there at the moment. But Yeah, love it, happy with it. Isn't it weird how the variegation looks on the leaves that came out since it's been here? That is one, and that I believe is one. Whereas they were coming out very, like the white was very crisp white, and now it's more of like a cream with some green mottling. I don't know how visible that is, but you can definitely see it on that one. Correct? I suppose. I don't care. It's pretty. It's doing pretty good, humble opinion. Seems to be doing all right. So this is my Bilietiae, what's left of it, and this is the plant that convinced me to put things in bonsai mix when they had root rot, because, and I've root rotted this plant probably 3 times now. This was the last surviving leaf, I believe, and then, nope, it had both of those too. I'm pretty sure it was a top cutting, and it's put out this little guy here, which I don't care. I don't care. It can be tiny. It's cute. It's still alive. And we're pushing out a nice little growth point there. So, yay. Let's see. Do we have any roots sticking out the bottom? Nope, not yet. And this is dry. But I can still see plenty of moisture, like even looking at the top of the bonsai mix. So I'm not gonna refill that just yet. Plenty of moisture. And then this guy here is my Syngonium. I believe it's Syngonium macrophyllum frosted heart. Like, look at that leaf. That's a nice one. So this one is not the most frosted anymore. I mean, you can see some here and there. Pardon me while I hold it by the pole, poor thing. It has not enjoyed the transition to being on a pole. Can you see how bare the stem is now? It was not like that when I put it on here. It has 2 in here actually. This is the smaller of the 2. I'm not sure if it's the constant watering that has made it so angry, or if it's that I'm not watering it thoroughly enough that it's getting all the way through to the roots that are in the pot. But, I mean, it's still growing. I'm not saying it's the happiest thing ever. It's not the angriest either, though, so I don't know. I don't know. I've got to get it sorted. That's all I know, is I've got to figure it out, because I really like this plant. You can see we have crispy edges, especially on the bottom leaves. Like, the top leaves look fine. They haven't suffered. But the closer we get to the bottom on this particular plant anyway, the more we have, I'm beating the hell out of the ceiling in here, the more we have these crispy browning tips. Like, I guess maybe you can see, I don't know, I'm sorry. Even that close to the camera, I can't tell if it's focusing or not. But, I don't know. It's a good plant. It really is. Like, never let anything negative I say about this plant discourage you from getting it if you're interested, because it is a good plant. It's a fast grower. It started really slow for me, but once it got going, it's done well. It has. I'm just not the best with Syngoniums, but I love them. This is the Syngonium Winlandii that I picked up, and I show you because it's also constantly got a problem, which its problem is basically me. Its problem is named Jen for sure. It had mealybugs at one point, which seems to be common on this plant. I've seen others with it, even like in nurseries, but it's so pretty. I just want it to behave and grow. I don't see any aerial roots or adventitious roots, I cannot speak, trying to pop off there. I don't know. I have propagated this plant, and it propagated pretty easily. And I'm honestly thinking I might chop this up and just propagate the whole thing, so we can maybe not have such this like leggy. There's some bare spots, especially on this particular piece. There's 3 in here. I mean, they're all connected to one root system, but there's 3. It's just branched off. I don't know. Like, I mean, it doesn't look hideous, right? Does it? I think it's pretty. I love Syngonium, but like I said, I think they want more water than I think that they do. I think they want more than what I think. I don't know. It's pretty though. It's pretty. My Syngonium albo is over here. Still looking pretty good. There's some pieces that are reverted, but I've just stopped cutting it. I need to extend the pole on this one and set it in the floor, I guess. So yeah, I've got some pieces that are reverted and some pieces in here are all white, but overall, I mean, it's okay. And then this is my Epipremnum implicimum. That sounds right. It's the one with like the silvery markings on the leaves. You can actually see it better on the older leaves. That newer leaf is very pale green, considering that it is like, it's hardened off. It's not that new anymore. I may have been giving it too much light. I don't know. And this one is just chilling in some leca. I just propagated it straight into the leca. Let's see, do we have any roots? Oh my God, we do. We have some roots. I did not realize it looked like that in there. I'll never get it back in. I didn't think it had been that long since I propagated that. Wow, and they are definitely sitting right in the reservoir. You can see some have little black tips. You can kind of see it against the white pot there. But yeah, that's insane. Not gonna lie, I'm probably just gonna leave it like that. I had planned to actually put these in soil, but they have such great roots in this leca. Maybe I'm just gonna like, I should try to up pot that, right? I might have to cut that net pot apart to get it out of there. Like, some of them things are chunky. Y'all, don't you love a surprise? Wow, I don't know how I'll get that out without destroying those roots. Patience and perseverance, maybe. My point being, it's done really well. I think they were single leaf cuttings. No, 2 were single leaf cuttings. This was a top cutting and it's grown 3 leaves. This one has grown 2 and this one has grown 1 and another one coming. So it's 3 cuttings in there. 2 were single leaf and then this was the top cutting. This one that's very enthusiastic. Yeah, I gotta do something with that. Just, it probably won't be anytime soon. While I'm thinking of Syngonium, this is just a mixed pot that I threw all in here, and only about half of it grew. It was all propagations. One side of the pot, they just died. I have no idea. Wow, like they're really dead. They just didn't root for whatever reason. I have no idea what the difference was between one side and the other, but it looks like I have confetti, neon robusta, and that might actually be it. Oh no, there's some pink illusion or whatever down in there. But there was Maria was in here, butterfly was in here, and some other kind, probably some of my albo. But isn't it weird how some take and some just are like, nah, I don't think I want to grow here. Like, so yeah, I do love Syngonium. This is looking pretty rough. And the funny thing is, I made all those cuttings and put it in here to kind of save this plant, or you know, these plants. For some of them, it worked out better than others. This was not meant to be a long-term solution, but I don't know. I don't hate the way it looks in there, except for that it's kind of flopping over. Maybe if I stake it up a little bit. I don't know. It needs help. But yeah, I showed this at the beginning of the summer in one of the greenhouse updates or greenhouse tours videos, and there wasn't much going on, but everything has grown quite a bit now. Not saying it looks great, just that it's alive and it's grown. But yeah, I think that might be it at the moment. I have a list of plant chores to do as long as my arm, so hopefully if I'm feeling well enough, we will do some of those very soon. Potting, propping, things like that. But yeah, so that's what I had for you today. Thank you for hanging out with me, and come back and check me out again soon. Bye.